Hi. It's been 2.5 months since the lockdown started. When it started, many of us would have thought about a lot of things. That during this lockdown, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to make six-pack abs, or I'm going to learn a music instrument, or I'm going to write a book, or start a YouTube channel. A lot of things. Have you been able to achieve it? Excuses aside, I think no. Ever thought why this happens? We want something so dearly, but are not able to achieve it. In order to diagnose this further, I picked up this book. It's called Neurodiscipline by Peter Hollins. In the next few minutes, I will try and sum up the book for you. So in the book, Peter introduces us to two parts of our brains. One is called prefrontal cortex. It is the more evolved, analytical, strategizing and planning kind of smart brain. The other part is called the limbic brain, which is slightly old, slightly lazy, slightly prehistoric, almost 10,000 BC old. The function of the prefrontal cortex is to do evolved decision making. Let's say also plan the future. Think about what are the good things for you, what is my value system, and take strategic calls about life. Whereas the limbic brain, on the other hand, works on your basic necessities, your instinctual desires, hunger, sex, things like those. Also, it is looking for a lot of gratification, that too instant. So, both prefrontal cortex and your limbic brain are aspiring to make decisions for you. Your prefrontal cortex, for that example, would tell you that, hey, why don't you start a YouTube channel? Is the in thing now. Also, if you succeed, you'll be able to do something that you're very passionate about. Tell people, tell the world about it, and get fame, money, get respected among your peers and colleagues, and grow ahead in life. Wonderful. That's a wonderful thought. Why don't you do it? Your limbic brain will tell you that, listen, bro, people are going to laugh, huh? And there are so many people doing it anyways. Why do you want to get your hands into it? Most probably you're not going to succeed, and all this effort is going to go into vain. And embarrassment is separate, huh? What if somebody comes and tells you that, hey, you tried, you didn't succeed, oh, what a fool you are. Now in this battle, mostly your limbic brain wins, right? Strange happens to us on a day-to-day basis, but still we are not able to sort it. So why does this old, 10,000 BC old limbic brain wins this battle by a margin from this young, energetic and dynamic, smart prefrontal cortex? It's because of a very old principle, which is the third character in our story. It's called the pleasure principle. The human mind does everything to seek pleasure and to avoid pain. And to make the matters worse, it is always looking for short-term pleasures more than long-term pleasures. The agent for this in your brain is called dopamine. This is the reason why your long-term vision of becoming a best-selling author is lying in your closet and getting beaten every day by your social media binge. Instead of picking up a pen and a paper, you're picking up your phone and thinking, what does my batchmate Ankita Sood from 12th standard doing nowadays? Let me just search her on Facebook. Or what is my ex-boyfriend Rahul up to now? Would he be married? You search for him. Oh, he's got a wife now. Iske to daant bahar hai. Ting, dopamine. I'm so better looking. This thing can be taken care of. And that's what the book tells you about. So now we will talk about the 7 principles that you should follow to support your prefrontal cortex and beat your limbic brain. The first principle is my favorite. It's called the 5-second rule. You need to act within 5 seconds of getting the thought, so that your limbic brain is not able to talk you out of it. Remember, your limbic brain is faster. It processes information faster. It talks you out of things faster. So as soon as you get the thought, act, and your action needs to be physical. Write a mail, make a phone call, or jot down something. It has to be an action which is physical in nature and within 5 seconds of getting the thought. The second principle is called the 10-10-10 principle. Take yourself in future. 10 minutes, 10 weeks, and 10 years. Every time you're making a decision, think about the implication of that decision 10 minutes from now, 10 weeks from now, and 10 years from now. Let's say you're choosing to have a pastry in spite of you being on a diet. What would be your reaction after 10 minutes of having that pastry? Will there be guilt? If you continued this behavior, how would you feel, or where will you be after 10 weeks? And after 10 years, when you will look back, what would be your thoughts? This principle will help you make very rational decisions and stick to them. The fear works very fast and very hard at brain. In fact, it's stronger than the desire for pleasure. Third is the if and then principle. If you're having difficulties in making decisions and stick it to them, just make if and then statements. For example, if it is 6 o'clock, I will go for a walk. If I crave for having sweets, I'm going to drink a glass of water. This makes the decision making extremely simple and very easy to implement. The brain does not need to make any decisions anymore. If something is happening, then I will do something. The fourth principle is to break your tasks. Your brain does look for instant gratifications, and you should provide it sometimes. So make a list of the activities that you will be required to carry out in order to achieve that bigger vision of yourself. Let's say if you're writing a book, make daily goals. That if I wrote 30 pages today, I'm going to enjoy 2 pegs of single malt in the evening. Interesting. When your brain knows that there is some dopamine at the end of the day, it works harder and faster. The fifth principle is to modify your physical environment. Your physical environment affects you more than you think it does. It is stronger than your willpower. For example, if somebody is wanting to quit alcohol, it's important that he's surrounded by people who motivate him to do so, instead of being among boozards who are telling stories of falling into the ditch every evening. Your willpower is like a cell phone battery. It lasts only up to a certain amount of time. And when the environment is not conducive, then it depletes even faster. Ensure that your physical environment is taken care of. The sixth principle is to shift your focus from outcome to process. The outcome is dependent on certain external factors as well. It does create some kind of space in which your limbic brain can talk you out of it. My God, people are not going to react like how you're expecting them to react. Or anyways, your boss doesn't like you, why are you putting in so much effort? No matter what you put over there, he's going to reject it only. Do not think about the outcome, only think about the process. Control what is in your hands and you will achieve success. Seventh and the last principle is to improve your self-talk. We talk to ourselves on a day-to-day basis in our brains. We tell a few things to ourselves. Have conscious focus on the words that you're using when you're talking to yourself. If you tell yourself that I am lazy, you will turn out to be lazy. If you tell yourself that I stick to my goals, you will stick to your goals. Ensure that the kind of conversations that you're having with yourself are in line with the kind of person that you want to be. One thing that I can also tell you to include in your self-talk is whenever you feel weak and statements like I cannot do this pop up in your head, replace the words I cannot with I lack the self-discipline to do this. It will work like magic, it will motivate you, and it will make you reach where you want to reach. So, to sum it up, your limbic brain is supported by dopamine. You need to be that support for your prefrontal cortex and you will achieve success and you will get what you want. I thank you very much for watching the entire video. Most people would not have seen the entire video because their limbic brain would have talked them out of it. As you have, I should give some kind of reward to you. So WhatsApp me 3 principles that you like the most. I will come back to you on what your reward is.